Hello, everybody. My name is Jeremy, and welcome to a new Let's Play. It's called Night Call. First and foremost, most of you, or some of you, might be like, I'm fine. Okay, I know. And then a lot of you are like, what? I'm fine. I've taken a sabbatical, I guess, from all social media stuff, and they're like, what are you doing YouTube? YouTube's more like a relaxing therapeutic thing for me, so I wanted to do this. And also the Steam summer sale is going on. This game is usually like 20 bucks. It's $5 right now. It's a game I had my eye on. It's another story-based game, a lot more driven in story, but I wanted to play it and get it added to the channel, so here we are. But I'm fine. I'm okay. I just need a break from from life for a little bit and work on some things. But I wasn't going to take a break from this. This is part of the reason why I took a break from all that is I haven't made time for myself to do this, to play and work on YouTube. So I'm hoping while I'm doing this, my YouTube videos start getting back to normal. I was doing like 2 or 3 videos a week, and now I'm like down to like maybe one a week. So now I'm like, I gotta take some time to work on this. So Night Call. What this is about, we'll go ahead and get ready to go here. We're gonna start a new game. It has a free roam mode, which I was kind of checking out, and that was kind of cool. But it's about. Let's just see if it explains it. Oh, save slots. Okay. If it doesn't, then I will, because I read about it. But let's see if the game explains it here. But I'm pretty excited to get into this one, and I'll tell you why once we get into it. Oh. Choose the investigation. The judge, the angel of death, the Sandman, surprise investigation, and random investigation hall. I don't know what any of these have to do. Oh. The judge. Victims have all something in common, and the motives seem clear, but which suspect could have done it? Ballots, case, perfect for a first run. Okay. The angel of death. Random victims, unknown motive, word case, slightly more difficult than others. Okay. The Sandman. The victims may feel random at first, but there is a connection. Yet the motives might be hard to find. Dark and twisted case. And then surprisingly, the game will randomly pick an unsolved investigation. Alright, so these are all different investigations. So, pretty much, the main story that I got from it, at least from what I was reading, was someone left you for dead. You're a cab driver in Paris. And someone left you for dead. And now you're trying to find them. At least that's what the first. But this looks like it's a little bit different. I'm randomly picking an investigation, no matter if solved or unsolved. Okay, so these are just different investigations. So am I a cab driver doing different investigations, or is it all the same investigation? Like the Sandman. I guess this is the Angel of Death, and then Surprise. This game will randomly pick. So I guess these are 3 different investigations. So we'll get into this one. It says the balance case perfect for first run. Let's choose that one. Choose difficulty mode. Story balanced. The way Night Call was designed. Money will be tighter. The investigation will be hard to solve. Every action will cost more time for a more challenging experience. Money will be easy to get by. The investigation will be easier. Every action will take less time for a chiller experience. That's the way it was intended. Story is gonna be pretty easy. I know I probably should do this one, but let's go ahead and do balanced here. Okay. The reason why this game interests me a whole lot is my dad worked as a cab driver for many years. Let's see the game. All right, let's let the game play here. This game is very. I always like atmospheric games, and this is apparently got a really good atmosphere. So far, the music is great. I love a good car ride, so. I like the art style. Night call. Okay. Doctor. Here? Sir? Can you hear me? Or do I need to speak up? You're fine. She takes a deep breath. Sir, you spent 2 weeks in a coma. Oh, goodness! The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Pretty sure about 2 weeks in coma, I'll be like, excuse me? Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you're the victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head, victim. You're aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. Boy. The judge, as the police called the killer, assaulted you. The bullet touched your liver and, in most circumstances, would have been fatal. We chose to put you in an induced... Or distance event, you just go right back out. You taste bile at the back of your throat, your head is burning, you hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to your wound underneath their bandages. You can feel hard skin as incredibly painful. Did they... I'm sorry? Did they catch the judge? No. I'll say nothing there. Teresa is silent for a second. A very awkward second. She hesitates. Police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. After all, you're the only one who survived the judge. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. Trying to turn your head to no avail. You need to rest. She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. Don't care he's the only witness. Another female voice joins in, a strong, authoritarian voice. You can clearly make up what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue, all in combination of the two. Or being in the hospital room. You've never realized that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. Well, you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later, night one. Okay. So, well, look, got a bit of a problem. A real problem, it is. You have a pounding headache. It's first night behind the wheel since the attack. Are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eyes in the rearview mirror. Yeah. Stares at you for a second or two without speaking. Sometimes I wonder what goes on inside your head. You always seem so far away. I'm listening. Okay. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know I'm worried about you, don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know? I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet again. My father died and left me to the store. I could have sold it. Could have retired, gone back to the old country. I decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left me to hire the guys from the neighborhood. That's why I've got 45 guys like you working for me. his hand to fluffer in the air. No, none of them are any match for you. Smile, the voice only takes a serious note. You want me to go over everything again? He points to the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, good idea. Right. Then, well, the first map, you spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. Well, first, the map. You spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going? Won't they tell you that? Anyways. The customer orders a taxi. If there's no one else around, you have to go pick them up. Okay, that's normal, right? He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business. The other fares, you look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. Then you drive. Yep, that's how it works. Flashes a quick, mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talked about work, he talks about work. So, when your shift is over, you do the numbers, and his voice trails off as if searching for the right words. And that's all. It's pretty simple. The reason why you can't do it. Oh, right. No overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. Looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the pad. Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're going to do a good job. What's the matter here? Boss keeps quiet for a while, as if hesitant to speak. And then, I think it's a good idea. He shouldn't be driving. The runner is still out there, and we think he's going to come back for you. Your colleagues. I do too. Anyway, we'll let you get back to work. A minute spent your taxes, a minute lost. You smile, half ironic, half serious. You can count on me. Scratches at the invisible stain on the armrest. Yeah, I know, that's the problem. Smiles. Miles opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and into the fleet garage. Alright. A couple of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. I'll ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there a moment, then turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you miss that feeling. It's back at the night shift, back to life. Despite the attack, despite it all. Okay, so hopefully I'm gonna click. So yeah, strange story. My dad was a cab driver, and he ended up being the dispatcher for a cab company for many, many years as I grew up. I mean, that's the only. Well, I remember him working at the park too, but like one of his main jobs is a cab driver, cab company. It's actually a pretty scary job. Dad told me a story about he had a cab driver who took like one guy. He ended up having him go out of town, and that guy actually ended up getting killed, got his throat cut. So, I mean, you know, that's real shit that happens, you know. So, getting a cab driver, you know, kind of freaks me out a little bit, you know, personally. It might not fair. But it's also the joy of, like, just meeting random people, too. Like, if you take, but it's a risk. Like, it's a risk in any job. But, you know, tip your cab drivers well. You know, they are out here driving at midnight while you're drunk, and, you know, treat them good. So here we go. So apparently I got 327 pound. I think that's pound. And it's 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock. No, 10 o'clock. So this one is like blinking. I don't know. I could pick up a cat. It's telling me to go here, but there's a kitty cat. Fuck you. Oh, God, the game's like, that's not even, what are you doing? Game's like, no, what are you doing? Right off the bat, I gotta pick up this cat. Krauky. Accept. Pull the cell, I can wait for your passenger. Definitely enjoy this. So it looks like a no-show. You get out of the cab after a minute or two and smoke a cigarette. Not much going on in this small town in the suburbs. A few apartments that still have lights on. Sweet scent hangs in the air. Eventually you stub out your cigarette and get back into the car. You jump, startled. Okay, has managed to slip into the cab. Sitting on the back seat, staring at you intently. You sit there for a moment, considering whether or not to shoo it away. But just as you are about to wave your hand, the cat shifts positions, and slips of paper falls from its collar. Pick up the paper. Pick up the piece of paper and unfold it. A fragment of map of Paris, the Saint-Lazare train station. You turn your eyes slowly to the cat. He seems to be expecting an answer. Are you going somewhere? The cat tilts its head to the side as if to say yes. You want to go to Saint-Lazare? The cat tilts its head again. Are you a dog? The cat slowly nods his head no. Hands clutched to him tightly. He's like, okay, a little weird. What the hell is going on? Turn around to face the cat. Okay, fine, I'll take you. Sure, you let Okay, fine. You start talking to yourself in low tones as if to balance the conversation. Oh, this is all perfectly normal. You start the cab, but cast a glance at the cat behind you. You're the one who ordered the cab? You start to laugh. A few minutes go by, you try to break the ice. Simple questions are probably best. Everything okay? Neither yes or no, more of a plaintive meow. Are you running away from someone? Cat lets out a long, plaintive meow. Another cat. Your owner? No, okay. Again, a long, melancholic meow. You nod your head. What happened? Was it a man? No answer. A woman. Oh, okay. What's she mean to you? Yeah, okay. The cat seems to be uncertain. She was overly affectionate. She had other cats. It gives you a look full of disbelief. No, that's not it, huh? You're independent. Might be alone, right? The owner is around for you. Cat doesn't seem to understand. For instance, your owner is never home. You're bored. You want to spend more time playing. Cat could roll their eyes. If the cat could roll their eyes, they would have. The cat doesn't seem to feel like talking anymore. He turns his head away, looking at the street in the window. Damn it. You're not far now. On to the next light. Point to the light in the distance. That's Saint-Lazare. We'll be there soon. A few yards later, you stop at the drop-off area in front of the station. First train doesn't leave for another hour. Where are you going? He stares at you without making a noise. Let me guess. Saint-Lazare. If you were going to the suburbs of Paris, you wouldn't have needed to come into town. Somewhere northwest of France. Brittany? Alright. Okay, right. Not Brittany. Yeah, what's out a choppy meow? He wants to get out. Hold on. Somewhere by the sea, huh? Looking at you and meows, a sharp sound. Probably a yes, a very hungry yes. For the fish, I guess. You check the time on the dashboard. It's time to go to get a real customer. You're trying to think too much about the situation you're in. And hope you no one sees you talking to a cat. Well, go on. Start saying the names of cities, and you meow when I hit the right one. You start to listen to cities in Normandy. Cat doesn't move a muscle. Cherbourg. And the cat looks up. So it's Cherbourg. Getting close. St. Malo? No. Okay. Still nothing. I've got Deville. A meow of delight. You're smiling too. All of a sudden, you're exhausted. Okay, come on. Time to say goodbye. You get out of the cab and open the back door. A bill has appeared on the seat next to the cat. It's enough for the fare, and more. Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you? I won't ask you where it came from. You smile, we know where to pet the cat. Leaps out of the car, darts between your legs. You just make out its shape by dashing up a flight of stairs and slipping between a bar and the grate. In a chat, you get back in the car. You look at yourself in the rearview mirror. Your features are heavily with fatigue. Your eyelid is twitching. You start the car. You remember you are allergic to cats, but you haven't sneezed once. Pull it out of the station. All right. Hey, I made good money on that one. All right. Take. Good money. Good money. All right. Gas is looking a little. I'm over on this side of town. The game wanted me to. So usually, what cab drivers do, you can't really pick these, or they get someone close to them. Like they get that area and they're like, "Oh, this person." So let's go ahead and pick up this one as close as it looks like. So it seems like there's a good test run with that cat. Irby, please. Oh, okay, let's accept that one. All right, let's go. We won't say no. The next passenger has been crying. Okay. Stairs of the floor gives you an address in the nearby suburbs. You just started driving when her telephone rings. Ringtone is familiar. Yes. There's a pause. The tone is sharp and curt. Yes, I'm on my way home right now. Pauses, holds her breath. Yes. Another pause. She sounds annoyed. No, I took a taxi. On the other end, the voice gets louder. Who's paying? Well, I am. I don't want to take the bus home tonight. Come on, lay off. A new round of criticism begins. Look, can you just lay off? Yeah, we'll talk about it when I get back. She holds the phone away from her ear, ready to hang up, and then pulls back. Yes, I'm here. Only glances at you. There's no need to scream. I can hear you. I told you. We'll talk about it when I get home. We're about to enter tunnel, miss. It looks like evil. I won't say nothing there. She rolls her eyes. Oh, come on. My life is not ruined. I mean, I failed one exam. Don't worry. There'll be others. So it's going to be like one of those games where it's going to be sometimes to be good, to be quiet. The voices raise another notch. I'm going to have to let you go. Say nothing. Well, stop freaking out. Why would a taxi be any more dangerous than a night bus, Mom? Okay, so it's Mom. Are you out of your mind? It's impossible to talk to you these days. I'm hanging up. Hanging up. She pulls her phone away from her face, like she's afraid of it. You hear a ring, the same tune as before. The old woman hesitates, turns the phone over in her hand, and decides not to answer. Sorry. No problem. I don't know that tune, really. No problem. To be honest, I really want to go home. Mother is waiting to have a long, very long discussion about my future and my career, all the sacrifices she's made for me. She's a cleaning woman in one of the fancy office buildings at La Defense, and I failed my bar exam. Oh, he's a lawyer. So she thinks, she stops herself. She was going to make a joke, but something keeps her from doing so. Her smile vanishes. She thinks I'll end up as a cleaning woman in La Defense. Her passenger sighs. Thinks I dance too much. Thinks it's Lecmere's fault. Mostly, she thinks it's my fault. She heaves a huge sigh and stares at nothing outside. I studied. I worked hard, but I didn't pass. I just don't believe in all that anymore. Now, be warned. I'm about to say sounds cliche, but I want to be a dancer, not a lawyer. Un intue. My mother doesn't understand. You must work to earn money in order to succeed. Not necessarily. She takes a breath. Sorry, I didn't mean to unload on you. I must seem like a pretentious little princess. Not at all. Thanks. Thanks for lying. She smiles. The advice she gives you is not much further. I mean, I know I owe my mother a lot. I have to stop being so self-centered, blah, 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 and I have to pass this fucking exam. She clicks her tongue as if to force herself to stop talking. Then she keeps going. Mind you, she came to make my Lakme performance. I have no idea what Lakme is. Let me say it right. She pauses, trying to find her words. She saw me dance when we left. It's kind of dumb, but she didn't say a single word. And I think I've never felt prouder. Her silence spoke 1,000 words. Pull up to her house, take some time getting out of the car. I don't know why I said all that, but it felt really good. Thank you. She disappears. Her tears have definitely vanished. So see, that's the thing, like, cab drivers hear this stuff. It's like a bartender or like a barber, you know, just you're there for a brief moment in time and spend with them, you know. So yeah, this is fun. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets into the back seat. Having a good night? A second, you freeze. It's one of the cops working on the judge's case. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. We're seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks I've been saying to myself, there's nothing off about you. Something's not so nice. There's something off about you. Something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it, because I was sure you lied to us. She has a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't think you're the judge. No. I just can't picture it. She squints like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like you've had gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. But not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I'd think he had a crush on you. She smirks. No, I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17. An icy chill fills your gut. And for murder, too. You open your mouth but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you kept a low profile. Lying about your name and your address, I checked. It's normal, you'd say, if they'd get a word of your time served. No loan for your permit, no lease for your car. I mean, no second chance at life. Whether it's soft or almost warm. I personally like guys who want a second chance. No. I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining, cat-like eyes narrowing. She wants to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name with evidence. Actually, knowing him, not so hot on evidence. So, I'll give you info. Victims, suspects, medical reports. Some photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate, ask questions, dig around. I'm not a cop. Shrugs. Don't worry. You're already keener than half the squad. Don't forget. I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up in a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman. You're just here to get me more information. She rummages around her pockets for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days just to check in. We'll chat. I'll let you know if I have any new info. She takes a didactic, patronistic tone. I think I said it right. Like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught, don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like, and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, my friend. It takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. Reminds me, she knows you've done time, right? You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag, you cover your tracks well. What if I refuse? If you refuse? Simple. Turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Picture with your name on it, your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched. They'll be put under house arrest, spend nights in jail. You have any idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial underway? You sigh. You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, last names are almost the same. Could be brothers, actually. Nothing like that terrorist. She smiles. Let me tell you, that face of yours and your handle will welcome you with open arms. She takes a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking life with a bang. I can't botch this case, you got me, and neither can you, right? You ripped open your gut, you saw your own insides, you were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reason you want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors you can come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, right. And don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her. She puts her hand up and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more until tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone. Obviously, not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. Fucking bitch. Still alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry, ears buzzing. Shit. The back seat, the cop looked at a pile of papers. Shit. Key into the ignition, motor running. Radio on, crackles. You turned it off and started driving. Talking to passers might unlock new documents and clues from your investigation. You'll find them back at your studio after your shift. 6 clues discovered, available in your room. Five people there. Take a second to enjoy the silence of her studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Busset gave you at the table. On the wall, you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of. You're playing a simple jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. So you're building a story about each suspect, trying to understand their motives, understand how he or she got into the situation. A bus goes by, making the walls shake. glance at your bed, get to work. Alright, so let's kind of look at this. Report victim 3, 4, killer case. Can we bust it? Board. So, Pierre Bataz, height 1 millimeter, cop in Paris. Dad was a cop, financial affairs. Died 2 years ago. Mom got into health issues after Rickerton health scandal. Gay in a relationship, never disclosed this information. Work. Hervé Grelou. Oh, let's see. Now he's the one who got in the car. Homeless man with an unknown background. Briefly worked for Charles Bogren, victim 2 in the 90s. Got a health issue for Rickerton health scandal. Got health issues with a couple of arrests. So 2 Rickerton health scandal people, and he worked for victim 2. Okay. Salim Wadlin. Height 1 meter 75 inches. I don't know, 1 75. Well-known lawyer for Saint Ouen, defender of the Doer case, defender of several molested kids in poor neighborhoods. Was a promising football player when he was 10. When he was 10, okay. Well, soccer's a little bit different. Paul Marie Fragonard. Fragonard. Retired cop, joined the police in 77, divorced from a judge. Born in French Antilles, moved to mainland France in 1996. Claudia Campos, medical examiner in Paris, escaped from Argentina when she was young, lost her parents in the Argentinian junta process. Alright, let's look at the victim 3, given to the hold investigate. New investigation, how do I okay. 4. Okay. Killer case. Okay, pork was discovered. Well, these are going up, I think. Yes. Oh, okay. So, killer case. Victim killed with 1 bullet in the neck. Source cop. Alright, so actually I probably should have took these down, really. So, violence. Kill with message. Justice. So, I don't even know. Oh, that one's connected, okay. Put you over here. Rare weapon, you go over here. So there's that. And this one isn't death execution style. This connects both these here. You deserve this. I think these are connected anyway. So, yeah, so okay. Killer height, so I don't think that quite matches it. You deserve this, okay? This goes here. This killer height. Doesn't quite. That's the justice. Okay, so that would make sense with that. He's not that tall. Weapon, rare gun used in the 70s. Okay. And then killer. She's almost that tall. Message comes 3 times up. Alright, so then these are things that we don't know. Neck, okay. Okay. Alright. So we can end night. Oh, we hold it. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, the faces, the problems. Interesting. You open one eye. It's pitch black outside. Time for work. Get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside on your studio. Night 2. Okay. Oh, man, I want to keep playing. My gas is fun. What the fuck is this? What is that? Now this is a prime suspect, and this one here is too. So I think I want to do this. Let's do this one. The gas is still okay. Only gets half a tank, I'll put gas in. And there's a gas station over here. We're gonna go to this one. This is Claudia. This is the one that's kind of like has the same height. We do want to accept this one. Pick up your passenger in front of the Paris office of the medical examiner, the morgue. She gets in, you're surprised. It should be a suspect. Her face, beautiful and soft, doesn't go with her clothing, her style, or attitude. She gives you her address and you start driving. Her voice is dry, frank, and she has an accent. Trouble determining. South American, maybe? Seems far away, lost in thought. A few seconds go by and she still hasn't talked much. As you look at her. Look at you. Everything okay? She jumps out of her seat and looks like she wants to disappear. Yes, everything's fine. An accent again. The one you can't place. Where's the accent from? Accent? Raise her head, surprised by your question. Argentina. Must be breathtaking. Yes, it's quite beautiful. Takes a pause. Well, it's been years since I've been back. Well, why is that? I prefer France. I'm surprised it's complicated. Not sure if you're aware of this, but there was a dictatorship in Argentina. Lowers her voice a bit and it sounds so far away. There was a military junta. My parents died. I think I can go back. France is just fine. It's a beautiful country. A smile flashes across her face, but disappears almost immediately. France welcomed a great deal of South Americans in the 70s. Argentinians, Chileans, Bolivians. I had no idea. No problem. It was a long time ago. 20, 30 years ago. It's the past. It's over. She pauses. Like it never happened. She grows teary-eyed. Sometimes I wonder myself if a side smile runs across her face like a shooting star. A second goes by slowly, very slowly. The meteorite explodes. Her passion breaks down. I'll let her cry. Between sobs, you hear her say something. Give me a minute. Please. One word, and without the slightest noise, you slow down. The road passes by slowly. No hurry. After a moment, she sits up. Can I ask you something? You nod. She takes a deep breath. It may seem like a ridiculous question, or at least a stupid one. Actually, it's completely stupid. Giving her a encouraging smile. But I'd like you to hit on me. She blushes at me, falls up. I mean, not for real, just for play. Like we're at a bar, like you want to buy me a drink. She shakes her head. Forget it. It's stupid. Totally stupid. I'll accept. Sure. Silence. She seems surprised. Really? Yes. You don't mind? I thought you would refuse. I have just a few rules, if you don't mind. First, I don't want to talk about Argentina, my home, my parents. Avoid that subject. She pauses. Does that work for you? Nod. Good. Second, I don't want to talk about work. I'm a medical examiner. You know what that is? I'm gonna play dumb here. No. Good. I don't want to talk about fuck. Let's start, if you're ready. You nod. We're in a bar. It's not very late. Not very late, but we're the only ones there. I'm alone at the bar, finishing a drink. I get up to leave. So, please go ahead. You know, a passenger. This is definitely a first. You gotta find a good line, something that will set the tone. Bold line, straightforward, romantic line. Romantic line. Nice evening, isn't it? Hello, yes. Very nice. Her voice is softer, her accent stronger. It's only just the beginning. I'll was thinking the same thing. I'm staying in bars late at night until closing. Seeing people make themselves leave. Some have to force themselves, others surrender to odd nets. Sets up a little and points to the imaginary bar next to her. Buy me a drink? Of course. How about a little game? I'm not the kind of guy who drinks cocktails. Something sweet. Could be wrong, but what about me? What kind of drink? She rolls the R on the last word. Something subtle. What do you mean? You want something special. You want to be surprised by life. She bursts out laughing. Aren't you good at this game? She gets back into character. Yes, exactly. You read me like a book. She stares at you. Something about her posture in the back seat is different. Don't you think time goes by too slowly? I do. We wait, we hold on, we get bored. I'd like it all to go faster, for things to speed up. She relaxes and giggles. She's letting go. She looks at you expectantly. The way you laugh. You do? Odd compliment. It's true. Thank you. Closes her eyes and stays that way for a little while. A smile settles on her face, a warm, natural, and uncontrolled smile. Thank you. You are perfect. Unusually kind. She nods slowly. I must confess that the way you came on to me was truly charming. You have very kind eyes. She passed her sighs contently. She seems happy and relieved. Pull up in front of the address she gave you. It's strange. What's that? There's something different about you. Unlike the other men, as if hands you her fare and slips you a tip. Don't refuse it, please. It means something to me. You nod. Hope to run into you again. You shiver. One last smile. Goodbye. She gets out of the cab. You'll watch her until she disappears into her building. Alright, well, I think for now, here's the thing, like, I can zoom out, I can't drag, okay, so there's not really anybody else here that's like, I can click on these and check these out, can't I? Oh, shit. Fingers poised in front of the car radio. You try to find something to listen to. Listen to the news. We opened upon the nighttime news. A brief update about the Judge affair. The new anchor emphasizes the fact that the first 3 victims were part of a data leak. You vaguely remember the events. 2 years ago, a bunch of criminal records were leaked. It can be helpful find your suspect. Nice. As soon as the news is over, you turn the radio off, and the cab is silent again. Oh, okay. So I can kind of... Okay, so I just turn my radio on, so it kind of stops you, okay. Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna stop here for now. That is super fun. Whoa. That is super fun. That has been a blast. I have been having a great time with this. This is really fun. That last one was really interesting. Odd request, but really, really fun. I mean, this is fun. I saw this game and I was like, oh, that seems really interesting because the life I've lived with, my dad being a cab driver and the stories he's told me as a cab driver and things like that. Because it's an exciting and also a very dangerous job. So when I read the story, I was like, oh, this seems interesting. Plus, it's a story-based game. And I just like these kind of games. I just do. So we're going to stop there for now. Thank you guys very much for watching. Um, we'll get some Sims back rolling. There, it is the summer sale going on, so I might be picking up a few different games, and starting those playing too. I really like these like big blowout sales Steam has. So we'll get into this, but yeah, this has been a blast. So thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Give me an idea of what you think of which one of the 5 up there do you think it is. I don't think I'm gonna be very good finding out who it is. I'm just gonna be having fun driving around, driving the taxi, and getting to learn people. So thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.